Yo, what's up guys? It's Pygoz here, the Crypto Pie, and today's Friday, so we have another crypto market roundup where I go over Bitcoin to USD, Ethereum to USD, and all the altcoins that are in my watch list. Basically, the majority of Binance, and we'll go over it, and I'll tell you my opinion. Obviously, right now, we had a big dump on Bitcoin, guys. I've been telling you guys, warned you guys for it for a long time, right? I talked about the 7,400 to 7,500 area, and it happened. We fell, and we fell hard. Right, so that's pretty much what happened on Bitcoin right now. What we see, if we go on the lower time frame on the 1 hour, we see a bear flag starting to form. However, the RSI is very low, but that does not mean that it cannot fall further. Right, we can easily fall all the way to 6K or something before we see anything happen. And it could even go all the way to the target of 5,500. So keep that in mind. That's Bitcoin for you. Anyways, guys, I update Bitcoin nearly on a daily basis. So let's move on to other coins, right? That's Bitcoin. Then we got Ethereum here. Ethereum to USD, guys. This the tether pair. It's just not looking good, right? And if Bitcoin falls further, guess what? Ethereum will fall further as well. Even though Ethereum looks like it's nearly done with everything, it simply will fall further, guys. So just keep that in mind, okay? And you will see with a lot of altcoins, this will be kind of like a shorter. I don't think we will talk all that long about altcoins either, because well, everything's falling, guys. You will see. So let's get started. ADA. All right. So we got ADA here, Cardano. Well, it's under both EMAs, under the cloud, obviously. It can actually get all the way down here at 1180 sats again, or even to like below the 1,000 sats, okay, if Bitcoin keeps falling. So just keep that in mind. Right now it's not in the uptrend. I wouldn't trade it. ADX, it's still like kind of like in this bottoming zone, so it's one of the better ones to look at, that's for sure. Ion, well, obviously I had this planned, but that didn't happen for the simple fact that Bitcoin crashed. Okay, so I can obviously get rid of that. Other than that, well, it's still on a downtrend. However, this is a higher low, so that is just good to see on Ion right now. If you wanted to make a trend line, you could, right? You could just draw it like this, and obviously it needs to hold that, and it's that simple. So Ambrosis also a higher low. It's looking pretty okay-ish for Ambrosis. So these are two coins that they're making high lows. High lows always good, guys. All right. So well, not on a bigger time frame, it's pretty good. Okay. So AppCoin, yeah, it's still kind of like in this range. So if you wanted to buy, you would buy at the bottom of the range, right? That's simple. Just keep it simple, guys. Then we got Basic Attention Token BAT. It's under both all EMAs, under a cloud. It's just looking bad. Okay, even though this is one that might potentially get on Coinbase, so you do need to keep that in mind, that you could see some kind of pump for that. But for now, I would definitely wait for this bottom region before you do anything. Bitcoin Cash, just that shit coin, but it did go up here a little bit, so that was good to see. And I don't care what I think about a coin, guys. Alright, if it shows me an uptrend, I will play it, okay? If it gives me the most returns. That's often not the case on Bitcoin Cash though. So but here we go. I mean, let's throw a fib on here. We could take like this high up here, right? Well, we're well below the 886, so yeah, you cannot really do fibs here. So it's more looking at levels here than anything, and if you look at levels, it could get all the way down here, guys. Alright, so not one I would be trading. Bitcoin Cash USD, don't care about that. Blue Zell is in a range, basically just range bound right now. It's just that's better than going down further, right? So it's trying to find a bottom here, okay, on Blue Zell. So if you wanted to buy, you buy this bottom range. All right, Binance, big head and shoulder meme here. I mean, if it breaks, then the head and shoulder meme could go in full factor, right? Which means like if you believe in these memes, guys, which I do, I still call them memes, even though, you know, they work sometimes. I mean, obviously you cannot target so low, but yeah. So this will be this is kind of like a harsh one to do, because I don't think it will go that low, right? Let's try it again. So we have this meme here, the top of the head to the shoulder, and I mean it will get you all the way down here. I don't see that just happening. Okay, so better is to just put a fib on there, from the low to the high here. Look, we're at the 0.5, 618 is right here. Here's the golden pocket, 618, 65. So this is your ideal buy here. If it drops further, 786, but this is kind of like a weak support. So then you are looking at this bottom region. Okay, this obviously needs to hold down here, right? So that is Binance for you. BQX, it's under all EMAs, under the cloud. It's trying to range here though, so that's a good thing, right? It just needs the range and then eventually show you an uptrend. But if Bitcoin falls, guys, it will have a hard time just keep in this range. So yeah, keep that in mind. That's for everything, right? Bitcoin like futures, Bitcoin longs. So the longs are very low. Bitcoin shorts are very high. This could definitely so the shorts, guys, this is another thing that tells me, even though yes, we can go lower, but what if this plunge, right? If this plunges, that means that Bitcoin will rocket up, right? It's that simple. Bitcoin gold, you know, it's making a higher low here, so that's decent to see. Then I want to see further upside, right, to get above the cloud, etc. BitShares is also is a little lower low here, right? But it's kind of also in a range, even though this is a lower low. It was only like briefly, so I would still wait until it shows me an uptrend, guys, before I enter. Okay, so that's with a lot of these coins. For a quick like bounce play, I would not look on the 6 hour. I would look on like 50 minutes, 1 hour, etc. Then of course you can play coins when Bitcoin's bouncing as well, just to make some extra Bitcoin, right? Cybermel's here, higher low, so that's good to see. It's also at this bottom region, so yeah, Cybermel's is looking pretty decent here. Dash, higher low here as well. This one's actually trying to move up here, guys. Let me just check the Fibonacci on what we bounced here. Okay, so Dash 0.5 nearly hit that 618. That's good to see. Very nice uptrend here. So if this can continue, that'd be great. Dent, well, I tried to play this, but obviously that failed. So I waited for the breakout, didn't happen. So yeah, Dent is most likely going back down to at least this region here at the 30 satoshis, and yeah, that's Dent for you. Doc is actually in a range, guys, right? If you want to play this range, you can play this range. Very simple to spot, right? Here, that's your range. When it gets to the low, you swing it up to the high, 30%, then it goes to the low again, etc. Right? That's just the range on Doc right now. Elf is also in the range, a little less clean range, but nonetheless, guys, that's good to see, because then you know, these alts showing me ranges tells me that the bottom should be close, right? Even though Bitcoin could dump, then they might dump a little further, but I don't think they'll dump all that much further. Okay, so EOS is also in the range, actually making slight higher lows. I don't like actually, well, this is pretty good. Like, yeah, this is a hidden bullish RSI divergence. So, you know, higher low, lower low on RSI, which calls out for a hidden bullish RSI divergence. That's pretty bullish. You know, it's looking pretty okay for EOS here. Let me just check a fib here real quick. Went to 786. That's a very deep retracement, but nonetheless, it can still go higher. Okay, just don't expect a way higher high because of the 786 retracement. ETC, it's just going downhill. You know, lower lows. I would not want to trade this. Ethereum, just going into the gutter. But people who say it's dead, please don't do. Alright, Ethereum is still your #2 cryptocurrency on the coin market cap. Right? It's just the second highest market cap, so definitely don't say it's dead. You know, it's just waiting for a Bitcoin, like for Bitcoin to reverse as well. When that happens, Ethereum will most likely reverse, and with much more power than Bitcoin, because it has way more ground to cover, right? So but for now, obviously stay out, guys. Right? Wait for it to show you an uptrend. When that uptrend happens, it will most likely be a violent one. Ethereum USD, GTO. So we have a range here, right, on GTO, but we do have a slightly lower low, but a higher low on the RSI, so that's a bullish RSI divergence. But I would still want to see this go into an uptrend before I would want to play it, right? GVT uptrending nicely here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd say wait for it will get to some 5, then we can throw a Fibonacci on there. Smack bang. I'll probably get back to around this zone. You might be able to buy in then. Okay, but this all depends on Bitcoin, obviously. But it is looking pretty okay for GVT here. GRS, you know, we have played GRS, guys, and that's thanks to Eric in the channel, right? But this is still going down, so you know, if you want to play this, you could either buy the support here or wait for a breakout. Okay, so that's GRS for you. And then you have these zones, obviously, right? They're based on Fibonacci's. Just took from the swing high to swing low, and these are the fibs back up. So 382.5, 618. You know, these are your levels, and you can play on them. Okay, obviously we have the 618 as well, right? Oh, let me just drag that one up there. There we go. So we got 3 targets there that you could potentially play on GRS if you want to do that, right? It's very risky at the moment though, so keep that in mind. Hot, guys. Hot is like very hot. You know, it's trending, but this is one big shit coin. It's currently 20 Satoshi. It's a big pump and dump. I would not buy it right now. If you bought it in the 8s, hell yeah, alright? You're doing great. You're up a lot. But if you didn't, well, simply sit it out, right? Sit it out. You cannot really chart much of this. This is all like blocky as hell. It's very hard to get in and out because everyone's on like the same orders. So maybe if there's an Ethereum pair, you could trade that. That'd be a lot easier to get in and out because of the fact that you will have something in between the 20 and the 21, for example, right? You have like numbers in between, and that's what you want as a trader. Icon. Icon, obviously I was looking for a breakout. It didn't happen. 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be grade 5. However, you know, it didn't happen because of Bitcoin breakdown. So Icon broke down as well. Simple as that. You know, it depends if Bitcoin wants to go. You can be looking for Icon as well to go, right? We obviously have higher lows here. It's definitely, I think it found itself a bottom. Maybe it will go to the bottom again before we really shoot off, right? So IOTA, same thing here. Higher lows, looking pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just didn't do the 5 because Bitcoin, you know, crashed, and it takes all the alts with it. So pretty same story. IOTX, it's not the same story here at all. I would wait for the lower ranges to hit if you wanted to take a trade on this. I personally don't trade this though, but you know, if you want, you can. I just don't see the volume on this one. Key, self-key, right? I know a lot of you guys are stuck in self-key, so we definitely need to talk about this. We are in a range here on key. We have a slightly higher low here. Not too much bullish RSI div though. I mean, it's very iffy. If I wanted to buy key, I would want to buy it in this low region for a swing up to the 618. Okay, and that is calculated from this high to this low. So yeah, that's kind of how I see self-key. KNC Kyber Network. All right, we have a higher low here under all EMAs, obviously because of Bitcoin, but higher low nonetheless. That's pretty good. So guys, a lot of higher lows on the altcoins, right? Which is great to see. I love to see that, and that's just a good, well, indication that we could be looking at a reversal here. So you know, just keep that in mind. We got Link here, very nice uptrend, but then it broke because of Bitcoin. Right now you could say like there's some meme going on with the head and shoulders. It's a very choppy chart. I don't like trading that, guys. Very choppy. You would get stopped out everywhere if you used stops. If you don't use stops, well, then you can trade this. Okay, but on altcoins, I mean, you know, you can have on this. Well, if I would trade this one, I would definitely wait on the close of the candle, though, because of these crazy wicks. You simply have to. You know, it's just how it is. So yeah, even though the volume is not even that low, the wicks are just crazy. So, you know, I would wait at least for this range here. Let's actually throw a fib on here to see what's going on here, right? So we hit the 0.5 here to the dot. That's great to see. Then we bounced, but I do expect the 61865, the golden pocket, to be hit, and then perhaps we'll go for another ride, right? That's Link for you. Let's take a look at Loom. Slightly higher low, not very high low, so it's not that great. It's under all EMAs. I just don't see this one going all that. I mean, let's actually throw a fib on here, okay? From the high to the low. Let's look at some targets here, potential targets. So it hit the 236 here, a little higher. 382.5, 618. So here you have your golden zone. That's your actual like best target to get on Loom if you wanted to jump in. You know, that's what you're looking at. It's a very good return. But just keep in mind that if Bitcoin drops further, this one will most likely drop further as well. It's not too strong of a crypto in that case, right? So just keep that in mind. Lisk, this one is strong, guys. I expected a fifth wave, but Bitcoin obviously wrecked that one. So yeah, right now, since that broke, the trend broke, I would wait for Bitcoin to go bullish again before I would want to play this. But actually, let's take a look at the fib here, see where it actually is at the 61865. So it's not that bad of a buy actually, but that means that Bitcoin needs to go up, right? So yeah, keep that in mind. Litecoin. Litecoin is in a range here, guys. Very high volume, obviously, it's Litecoin, so it's looking pretty good. If you wanted to buy in the lower range and look for a well, I mean, you don't even need to put a fib on here, right? You got your first target here, second target here, third target there. Okay, it's that simple, right? You just need to look at the highs, and then obviously here you have a lot of resistance, right? So yeah, that's kind of like how I look at this on Litecoin. It's looking pretty good for Litecoin. Also a nice bullish RSI div here, so it's looking pretty decent. But obviously it all depends on Bitcoin, guys. Litecoin USD, we don't need to go over that. Mana's making lower lows. Just don't trade that. All right, there we go, done. MFT, right? We have a higher low here, which is good. It simply needs to break out and get above the cloud, because we are turning down here on the EMAs, which is not good to see. It could definitely get lower, okay? Especially if Bitcoin drops. I don't think this one's too strong, and it will easily drop lower. Monetha, we're in a range. If it can hold this range, then it might have found itself a bottom. Very choppy chart as well, but nonetheless, we are in a range. So if you wanted to buy the bottom of the range, you could do, right? It's just it's all depending on what you want to do. So obviously you have a stop then of 4%, and you know, you're targeting top of the range, which is like 17%. So you have a good risk reward, right? That's what you should always aim for, is a good risk reward, and obviously it needs to make sense. So if you see Bitcoin dropping further, then stay away from the alts for now, right? It's that simple. Always look at Bitcoin before you trade alts, guys, right? MTL Metal, we have a bunch of higher lows here, which is looking good, but this one actually reminds me a lot of Bitcoin. It's bear flagging. So yeah, this one's bear flagging, and I don't like seeing that too much. But it's trying to get above the cloud as well. So if it gets above the cloud with a pop, then you could be trading this, okay? Then you simply wait, and it will plop back to the cloud. You go in and you wait for a swing up, okay? Nano, obviously this broke down. I was expecting more from it, but that's because of Bitcoin. So right now, it's the same case, right? You wait for Bitcoin. That's with all the alts actually. You wait for Bitcoin to make its move, and then you can be playing the alts, right? But it did go to the 0.5, had a little bounce. But the 618, 65 area is right here, which is a better zone to be buying anyways, right? So it could still drop a little further, that's for sure. Navcoin makes a higher low here. It needs to get above the EMAs though, and above the cloud before I'm interested. Or if you would want to, you could buy this low. Navcoin is a very old coin. I don't think it will go anywhere. It's a pretty safe bet. But if Bitcoin goes lower, then for the short term you will be looking at a loss. So you know, just wait for Bitcoin, guys. That's pretty much for all the altcoins, right? Wait for the Bitcoin decision. And cash, we have a higher low here, which is good to see as well. It simply needs to hold here. I don't want it to fall through here, because then we'll be looking at these bottoms again. If it does go to that bottom, I might be buying a little bit because of a run up, right? So it's one to watch. Nablio, let me throw Ncash on there. Nablio, right? Higher low, and well, I mean yeah, this one, it needs to get above the cloud as well. Kind of waiting on Bitcoin for a decision as well here, right? It needs to get, it's the kind of the same thing, guys. A lot of charts look the same, as you can see. Neo actually, guys, is one looking very strong, right? High low, high low, high low. It's in an ascending triangle. That's why I got this drawn up, and I don't know why I don't have it marked. I have the Neo USD marked, but that's fine as well. Yeah, this one's in ascending triangle, guys. When it pops out, it's most likely gonna pop with force, because this is a 6-hour chart, and well, there's definitely a lot of power in here. Okay, so if you want to buy the support here of Neo, that's great. Or if you want to buy the breakout, it's great as well, right? Obviously we had a very little fake out here, but I don't think a second fake out will happen. So you know, I definitely do think that we could be seeing something happening on Neo if Bitcoin pops out. Alright, and even with Bitcoin doing like this bad, Neo is actually not doing all that bad, guys. Alright, so Neo is a strong one. Alright, definitely want to watch, guys. Neo USD. Obviously I watched that, but I watched the Tether one. Then we have OMG. It's in a range. That's good to see, guys. If you want, you can buy the lower part of the range. If it goes lower, obviously you need to stop out, because if Bitcoin drops, it can definitely go to new lows, and well, you would need to reassess anyways then, right? So, but if it holds, then you could be looking at a nice pop, right? So yeah, OMG is looking pretty decent here as well. ONT ontology. All right, we have a high low here. Let's actually throw a fib on here. See what are we looking at? 61865, exactly to the golden pocket there. Then we had a kind of weak bounce for now, but I mean, it would have made it 18% though, guys. So yeah, weak bounce, but it's following the fibs to the T, which is great to see, right? When I see that, I really want to play it. So definitely on my list. I love playing ones that follow the fibs to the T, because those I can play without too much uncertainty, right? So yeah, it's looking pretty good for ontology here, guys, but it all depends on Bitcoin, obviously, right? PivX is in the range. The same thing here, guys. All right, it needs to wait on a Bitcoin decision before it can really pop. POE is well, higher low here, also kind of in the range. Same thing here, guys, needs to wait for a Bitcoin decision. So power, we have a lower low here, which is not that good to see. I mean, if I don't count this wick, right? This wick is just madness. So yeah, lower low is not good to see. I wouldn't trade that. Boom. Next, QSP in a range. Quantstam's pretty interesting project, but I would want to see this to this low before I would be interested, and I don't think I'll be interested in this one anyways for a while. I kind of just want to see a bullish, okay? If I want to trade it. Qtum obviously got listed on Poloniex, guys. or the listings announced or whatever. So there's something going on here, but that's kind of like a weak bounce for that news. So yeah, it's looking okay-ish. Low though, but some bullish outside div. So it's looking okay-ish, guys, right? But nothing more than that. It can definitely drop lower, even though it listed on Poloniex. So news is only news, guys, right? News doesn't matter all that much. It's more about the charts than anything. RLC, we got higher low here. What I want to see here is obviously a breakout, right? Getting above that cloud. So it all depends on the Bitcoin decision here. Also, I don't like the volume. Like, you just have spikes, but you don't have really high volume overall. So yeah, you know, it's not one that I trade that much. Salt, same thing here, guys. I mean, I don't like the volume that much on Salt, so I don't trade it that much. But it is in a range, so I do need to tell you guys that. And it has a slight bullish RSI divergence as well, as you can see here. Basically, you know, this is higher, right? But we're kind of still in the same range. So it's you know, warming up for something. So, but I would just want to wait and see until it shows me like the first bullish wave, then I'll buy the second one, right? You know, I'll buy on the 2 to go up for the 3 Elliott wave terms. So yeah, Storm. I wanted to see this break out, but that was kind of like a fake out, so I stopped out with like tiny profit or whatever. And then obviously Bitcoin dropped, so you know, that's what happened there. But it is still in a range, and it made a higher low, which is good to see. So yeah, I would want to see this the first wave, and then I would buy the 2 for the 3 up. So it's kind of like the same situation here. That's kind of like the same with all these ones that are in the range. Okay. Stratus, higher lows here, higher highs. So it's looking pretty decent, but it will all depend on Bitcoin, just like all the altcoins. Substratum. Substratum is also making a higher low here. It did the meme already. I think it had a little meme in here. But yeah, it needs to hold this this higher low. And it will all depend on Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin will go, it will most likely go up. But it's not one I trade either. I just have it in my list for you guys. I will trade it obviously if it shows me big percentages to go in for the retrace and then play for the bigger swing. But for now, nah. Tron, I do watch this one quite a lot. This one is currently in the range, and it needs to hold here if it pops. So I don't even like Tron. Tron Tech is like just garbage, right? I don't care about it. But I do like that they have a big fan base, and if they have a big fan base, they have a big buying base, right? People buy for it to go up. They just want it to moon. So obviously I want to be in the moon as well, and that's why I watch it quite a bit, right? Let me just put it back on. I take it off and on like all the time, because Tron is one that you know I watch it quite a bit, but it does need to show me something, right? And right now it just doesn't show me any bullish movement just yet. VAT, VChain. I mean, what can you say here, right? This is a totally different chart, but if I would say anything here, I'd say this needs to fall. Okay, this has to fall down. So yeah, not touching it. I think this will fall down. Wobby, higher low here. Big pump, dump. You know, it's not one I trade any either, but well, you know, it's pump and dump coin, really. I mean, pump, dump, you know, and then this is your great example, just a big pump and then a dump. So yeah, definitely not one I want to trade. One chain, this one is pretty organic. I like this one. I traded quite a bit. Obviously, just like Icon, this one fell down because of Bitcoin, right? And no, it's that simple. If it fell down because of Bitcoin, so I'm not, you know, I'll wait until Bitcoin shows me some movement. Waves is also showing you a higher low. Waves is pretty old coin. It's kind of like showing a little range here as well. So if it can stay in this range, that'd be great. But if Bitcoin falls, I think it will fall further down, and we could potentially see a double bottom forming. Walton chain is currently making a higher low here. If it holds here, however, I do think that it could go for next swing up, right? But this all depends on Bitcoin, guys. Just like all these altcoins depend so much on Bitcoin that it's so hard to just say like I'm going in, right? Obviously, it's big gains to be made, but you need to have very tight stops, okay? That's what I can tell you right now on these alts, because if Bitcoin falls further, these alts will take a beating. Right, Bitcoin Euro, Bitcoin USD, Stellar Lumens. Alright, Stellar Lumens is well, lower low, but it's kind of like higher low than this one. So you could say it's still a little bit bullish, but not that bullish, right? Very choppy chart as well. Not one I trade a lot either. I'm not a big fan of Stellar. Not to trade anyhow. The tech might be good, but I don't really care, guys. I don't care about the tech, alright? I don't care. I can say it. I just don't. It's about making profits, alright? And the tech can be great. You know, some tech is great, and obviously I love it when the tech is great. But in the end, it's all about making a profit. So Monero here is showing you the meme. You know, shoulder, head, shoulder. So maybe the meme will play out, and we'll see a bottom here, right, at 15. So yeah. I wouldn't buy this. I wouldn't suggest anyone buying this at the moment. You know, it's just not looking too good, even though it's showing a higher lows. But the meme could play out. So Ripple to Bitcoin, right? Showing you lower low, also lower low on our side. It's just very bad. Don't play Ripple for now, guys. I know Ripple has one pump once a year, so you want to be in that, but that's about all it does. So yeah, that's what Ripple does, right? Verge, guys, Verge. This is another one with a big fan group, just like Tron. I compare Tron and Verge so much because they're very similar, so similar. They've just like a big fan base group for some reason. Just fans love those coins, and yeah, that's why they pump, because they're both just complete garbage shit coins, right? So yeah, it simply needs to hold here, and if it holds here, then you could be looking for a swing up, but because it is showing you higher lows and higher highs. But it all depends on Bitcoin, so I would want to wait for a Bitcoin move. And then you always think you're too late, right, if a Bitcoin move happens. But the thing is, it will retrace and then go for another one. And then the one after that is way stronger than the first one. The third wave is often the longest, guys, right? Keep that in mind. So don't be afraid and just wait for that retracement, jump in and get that next one, right? Zcash, guys. Zec, currently making lower lows, but higher lows on our side, so bullish our side divergence. But I'm not a big fan of this, right? Look at this, guys, right? Just one big downtrend. No, I'm not playing that. Silica, higher low here, so it needs to hold here. Obviously, it will depend on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes further down, I think we could see a potential double bottom forming. So just keep an eye for that. ZRX, 0x, guys, right? So lower low. Yeah, that's all that needs to be said. Don't play this. Alright, that's it, guys. That's it for the crypto market roundup. And let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin's actually still in this bear flag. And if it breaks down, well, then I can see it going further down to like 5,500, okay? Well, obviously first stop is like a 57, 6k, somewhere around there. But it could definitely drop further, guys. So right now I just don't know. And for that reason, I'm not in a position, and if I were, well, the thing I would do is just short it if it breaks out, right? In this case, I will do a breakout short, right? That's no problem at all for me. I'll happily do that, because if it breaks out, well, obviously it will go with force, right? There will not be some fake out, most likely not. So yeah, it's pretty easy to play. You just need to be ready to be able to short. And on BitMEX, that can be sometimes hard. I know you will get a bunch of errors, but eventually your order will go through. And if you want, you can even put a stop sell order there if you wanted to, right? So yeah, that's how I would play it right now. And obviously, if it hits the top, you can definitely get a very nice short in, right? So, yeah, that's what I'll leave you guys at on the crypto market roundup. Also, guys, if you're not in the Telegram yet, join up with the CryptoPies blog, where you can ask me any questions, you can ask other people questions. It's just a great chat box to be in, right? Let's see what's going on in here. We have prepared for both scenarios here. So you see this what I meant, guys, with the stop market. You can definitely do that. So if it goes lower, then he will be triggered into a short. If it goes higher, he will be triggered into a long, which is, you know, he's just ready for both scenarios, which is good to see. So good job there, Joe. But you do, guys, we do need to keep the RSI in mind, and they're very low on the medium time frame. So, and I do see a little bit bullish RSI div there. Just keep it in mind, right? That's all I'm saying. But yeah, the bear flag could also definitely play out. So just react to it. At the moment, you can only react to the market. Right? There's no fibs to go by or anything. So yeah, that's all I can tell you right now about that. Right? So yeah, join up with the CryptoPies blog, guys. Also join up with the CryptoPies feed, where I post all my videos, post about upcoming ICOs. When I find an ICO, I'll tell you guys about it, to whitelist for it, so you are ready for the sale, right? And if you are obviously right now, you need to watch out, because Ethereum and Neo prices are low. That means that it's harder to make a gain on your ICOs, and most ICOs plop on the market and they're under ICO value. So I'm personally not going into any ICOs, but that's up to you. So you will not see me posting about them at the moment. But what I do look for in an ICO, guys, is a strong team, low token metrics, so low market cap, so it's easy to flip, and of course it needs to be an infrastructure project, right, such as a blockchain or a protocol. And that's that, guys. Also follow me on Twitter, which is twitter.com/Pygoz, and follow me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Pygoz. Both telegrams will be in the description below, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Hit that post notification button, and if you got any questions at all, leave a comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.